With just 2 more trading sessions left on the week, indices struggle to get going. I'll break it all down, but before that, there's the closing bell, guys, with the S&Ps closing down just 11 points. Today it was the Russell 2000 that's up about 1.7%. It was hammered in yesterday's tape, so it's seeing a little bit of a bounce today. We see the Nasdaq that's down little under 0.5%, as well as the Dow that's down about 90 points. When we take a look at the SPX, we can see we're negative on the week. 3,974 plays our midline on the week. However, if we do see some selling in tomorrow's tape, 3,911 will act as some pretty good support, as that is our lower edge on the week. Over in the futures, we take a look at the S&P futures here. We can see volume is lagging a bit, and for the most part, we're within striking distance of all-time highs, about 30 points from reaching those levels. When we take a look at the Nasdaq, for the most part, it's consolidating down about 0.4 today here in the futures. It's right below 13,000. Technology has been struggling to get going. Remember, on the week, when we take a look at the expected move, 13,260 plays our upper resistance. However, it looks like we're negative right now, and if we do roll tomorrow, 12,600 and about 60 should play some very good support in the Nasdaq futures. Over in the Russell 2000, however, it's our only index in the green, and you can see yesterday we tagged that lower edge at 2159, and today we are bouncing off that level. To get positive on the week, we need to get back over 2,220, which we're about 30 points shy from that. The Russell is just seeing a little relief bounce in today's tape. So for the most part today, this market is just playing ping pong. Let's take a closer look under the hood and see what's going on in our sectors. And taking a look today, the financials led the way up 0.7%. Putting in 4 green candles in a row, we see the industrials right behind it. It put an all-time high in today. However, volume is a bit weak, up a little under 0.5%. Now we do have Biden, who will announce his infrastructure plan tomorrow. Maybe this is seeing a little bit of a front run. We see software stocks today even up about 0.1% here, hanging on but slightly in the green. Over on the flip side, we see that Big 5 is down about 0.5%. For the most part, these big tech names are just going sideways here. When we compare that to the XLK, the broader technology sector, it's down close to 1%. So we see the Big 5 doing slightly better. However, both are in the red. We also see consumer staples today that is down 1% after being up over 1%. Today it's giving those gains back. Just looking at them all today, we see the financials help hold together the S&Ps as well as lift the small cap higher with the help of software stocks. We saw industrials as our only sectors in the green. Just taking a closer look, you see the Big 5 and the XLK, you see the disparity between them. So we're seeing the big tech names act as a safe haven. Even though they are down, they're slightly better than the XLK, but you want to see them green for the most part. And just see healthcare down about 1%, and even energy selling off a bit in the final close. It was consumer staples down over 1%. Relatively weak marketplace across the board. So with tech struggling to move today, let's see what's happening over in the bond market. Taking a look at the bonds today, we see it's up about 0.3%. Putting in a higher low in today's tape, we see some volume backing that up. Over on the flip side, we take a look at the 10-year yield. It too is up about 0.3%, sitting at 1.72%. We look at it on an intraday, and we can see we got a little pop here at 10 o'clock. That was due to a very good consumer confidence number beat. However, we just gave that all back, and you can see we trended south as the day progressed. When we take a look at volatility, the futures are down over 4%. It's looking quite ugly here in the VIX. When we just look at it on a bigger picture here, sitting at 21.1 in these futures, they just can't find a bid to save their lives. You see volume is relatively dry today. When we take a look at the VVIX, it too is struggling down over 3%. At 102, it's coming very close to 100. You can just see. We put a bottom there, bounced off of it, and even back in September, we broke 100 very briefly. However, we just rocketed up. Are we going to get below 100 with a good consumer confidence number and a VIX that is retreating it could give some more investors confidence to get into this market and push stocks higher. So we see what's going on in bonds and equities. Let's take a look at our dollar index and commodities. Taking a look at the dollar index, it's up today about 0.4%, just sitting at a 93.29. The dollar continues to strengthen. A lot of people seem to get this one wrong, as they said the dollar would weak, myself included. However, when you look at other countries across the board, the dollar in the US is just slightly better than these other countries and their currencies. However, not by much. Now, when we take a look at some of our commodities, we see today crude oil was down 1.87%. However, it's still above the $60 mark. Crude oil struggling with the strengthening dollar. As for gold, the precious metal down 1.84%, down over $31 today, sitting at $16.83. I have a Fibonacci on one of my trading view charts at $16.90. We're 7 points below that. With the strengthening dollar, gold is struggling to get some feet underneath it. Potentially could be falling even more here in this metal. As for Bitcoin, it's up close to 2% today, sitting at 59,350. We tagged 60K very briefly, and we're very close to all-time highs here in the futures. Just taking a closer look at my trading view charts, we take a look at Coinbase, and you can see 59.5, call it, is a Fibonacci. We got rejected there this morning. This is on a 4-hour. And I want to show you guys, there is that crossover way up here. However, it's April 1st, latter part of the day. That could signal some volatility. So the first of the month, buckle up. Bitcoin could be getting crazy on this chart. As for Binance, we are above this Fibonacci level at 57.9. You can just see we broke out of that line. We're sitting about 1,000 points above that line. This 57.9 should play a fairly big pivot here in Bitcoin. As for my Bitstamp, we are in between two pitchforks for the most part. If we break this pitchfork, this could get going very fast, and we could be putting all-time highs in before you know it. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. Today was a relatively boring tape. We saw the small caps bounce back after being clobbered in yesterday's session. It's just seeing a little relief bounce. As for technology, it continues to struggle to get some feet underneath it. Tomorrow we'll be hearing from Biden and his infrastructure plan. I read it's around $2.25 trillion. We'll see the details tomorrow. However, with a very strong consumer confidence number today and a VIX that's been falling, we could be very close to going higher. Hopefully tomorrow brings a little bit more fun, but if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up. It means a lot when you guys are liking my videos, and if you're watching for the first time, I do these breakdowns daily. Show some love and hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot if you guys can do that. Any comments or questions for me, leave it down and I'll get back to you. But on that note, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. Take care. Peace!